I don't know how you ended up here, but thank you for clicking on it. I present to you 10 K-dramas I've personally watched and really liked for you to watch in quarantine, because literally what else do we do? Yeah, basically I'm gonna present you these 10 K-dramas and I categorize them in 5 categories because, you know, everybody has something like they prefer. For me it's like more of the thriller fantasy genre, but all of the K-dramas have a pinch of romance in it except for one, and so if you like romance, all of these K-dramas may be something for you. So let's get started because I know this video is going to be already way too long. First category is romance, because we all love a cute little romance. Here I have one K-drama which I've watched recently because it is pretty new, and let me tell you, it is incredibly good. It is really new, it's Crash Landing on You. Maybe you've heard of it. I am pretty sure you've heard of it because literally everybody has heard of it. For anybody who does not know what this K-drama is about, it's a story of a woman and a man, surprise surprise, and she, the woman, her name is Yoon Se-ri, and she is a rich, independent woman with her own company, and she goes paragliding, but there's a tornado which drifts her off of her way she wanted to land. So she lands in a forest in North Korea. Here she is found by a North Korean soldier, and his name is Ri Jong-hyuk. I am sorry if I mispronounced any of these names. I'm so sorry. But basically he wants to give her to the police, but she tries to run away and later on stays with him and with his friends, with his group of other soldiers, and to try to get her back to Korea. And with this there is a little bit of romance, a lot of action actually coming with it, but I think the relationship of these two people, like, they are so different, but how they like help each other and are there for each other is really interesting to see. And the characters all are so cool, and this group of soldiers, like, I love them so much. Each and every character in there has a personal, like, something which really makes them shine, and that is so incredible. There's also another storyline with another girl, like in every good K-drama, so it shows how the people in North Korea live and how they deal with their situation. My second K-drama in romance is My Secret Romance. Already romance in the title, that's good. My Secret Romance was a K-drama I stumbled upon without even knowing anything about it, and I just watched it like in between like heavy plot K-dramas, and it was a relaxing one, so the plot is not really heavy, they don't have a big backstory, it is just easy love. It is all about love. So a short summary of My Secret Romance. There's this guy, Jinwook, and he is the son of a CEO, and he's rich, and you know, he's flirting with a lot of women, and he usually doesn't have a relationship. He meets a woman, the main female lead. So basically they meet and there maybe is something going on between these two, but they part ways because that's his way of living. And years later, he is now CEO of his company and she works as a nutrition, and she starts working at his company as a nutrition, and they meet again and they kind of have to figure out what their interaction in the past actually did to them, because it had an impact. If you like really good cliche hardcore romance, this K-drama is actually something for you. My second category is fantasy. I gotta say a lot of the genres overlap in these categories, but I don't know, it actually doesn't make sense. It's just like 10 K-dramas. I just wanted to have some structure. This K-drama I present to you is Hotel de Luna. Hotel de Luna tells a story of a woman, Manuel, and she is the CEO of a hotel. But that hotel is not just any ordinary hotel, it is a hotel for ghosts. And the male lead, his name is Chang Sung, and he is a hotel manager. He just finished his studies and he wants to work at a big company, a big hotel, but somehow Manbol kind of gets him to work at her hotel, and so he is the manager of the ghost hotel and he can see the ghost. So they help the ghosts to go to the afterlife. Every episode has like their own little story and I really like that. And at the end, their backstories and like pasts getting revealed and why Manuel is the CEO of this hotel and what everything has to do with it. Like there's so much going on. And IU in the main role is so amazing. Like this woman is so pretty. And what I've noticed, she has an outfit change every scene. And these outfits are just so pretty. The second K-drama in this category is The Bride of the Water God or The Bride of Habeck. The story basically talks about a woman, So-an, and she is a psychiatrist and she acts a bit selfish. So then, to start out the storyline, Habeck needs to go to Earth. Habeck is the water god and he lives in another dimension. But his friends live on Earth. And he needs stones, which his friends took, so he needs to go to Earth. But when he comes to Earth, he loses all his divine powers and needs help. And that is why So-an is so important, because she is a descendant of somebody who dedicated their life to the gods and swore that they will protect the gods if they will ever come to Earth. So they have a little conflict because he thinks it is natural for her to believe him, but she doesn't believe him at all. So they at first need to like get over their little problems of trusting each other, and maybe there's also something going on later, but it is heavily romance based. There's also another man. The storyline goes forward with like meeting the other ghosts, and like one of them is Crystal from FX, and she is so pretty and she fits to this role so amazingly good. Our next category is comedy. I know like it is not really only comedy, and I feel like probably Welcome to Waikiki would fit in this category a lot better than the K-dramas I've selected. But to be honest, I haven't finished Welcome to Waikiki yet, so I couldn't add it. But I think the K-dramas I put on the list are really, really funny and had a lot of moments where I loved so much. So starting this off with The Legend of the Blue Sea. Legend of the Blue Sea tells the story of a mermaid from, I think, the Joseon dynasty, and she follows a man into our reality, like the now, and there is a man who looks exactly like her love from the past, and that man is played by Lee Min-ho. That's probably the only reason I watched this K-drama, but he's stunning as an actor. Lee Min-ho plays a con man named Junjae, and he lives in Seoul with two of his friends who help him conning people. The story begins with him escaping to a foreign country, and there he is in a villa on the beach, and the mermaid gets stranded at his house. They meet. She does not know anything about the modern world. She's totally helpless, and they try to escape bad guys which are trying to capture Junjae. He leaves for Seoul, and she promises him to come to Seoul as well. He does not know that she is a mermaid though, and so she goes to Seoul and meets him there. And the story continues in Seoul, where he tries to continue the act of con man, and she tries to get used to the modern world with getting new friends. Also enemies, because there is a woman who is in love with Junjae and she is not really happy about another woman suddenly entering his life. There is a lot of romance in the story, and also there is a conflict with the past, and you can see back to the Joseon dynasty. So that's really interesting, and that's a part where I, first of all, didn't even expect from the K-drama. There is a ton of funny scenes in this K-drama, and already how the mermaid tries to even live in a modern society is so funny. And I think also they named her Chimchong, which literally means fool. The second K-drama on my comedy list is Still 17. Still 17 is about two people in their 30s, but Because of a bus accident in the past, Sori, the main female, was in a coma for 13 years. So now she is 30, her body is 30, but her mind is pretty much 17. And the lead male, his name is Woojin, he thinks he's the cause of this bus accident. So he isolates himself from society, and after she wakes up from the coma, she wants to find out where her friends and her family is. They meet because he now lives in the house of her family where she lived before, and he moved in there because her family moved away. He wants to try and find where her uncle is, where her friends are, and then she gets in relation with Woojin, and Woojin doesn't like her being around, and there's Woojin's cousin. He's really open, he's like really friendly, and he really likes Sori, so he wants her to stay at the house because he knows she doesn't have other place. And then she starts living at their house, which makes Woojin and Sori interact a bit more and maybe find out about themselves and maybe start a romance. There was so many funny moments in general, and I feel like the K-drama itself, it was so well put together, and the story writing was so great. It all felt like it comes together so well and it fits so perfectly. There are no holes in the storyline and plotline. It's just a really well written drama. The next category is crime, because it is talking about crimes, but I could probably also call it mystery. So the first K-drama I have here is the only K-drama I've watched so far without a strong or even subtle romance. I don't know, it wouldn't fit into the drama, I feel like. The drama, by the way, is Kill It. The drama is about a guy named Soo-hyun, and as the drama begins, you can see him as a child. He has been raised with a Russian assassin, so that was his lifestyle, how he grown up, and that is why he's an assassin now. He has a tragic past and he wants to know more about his past, and the client who tells him who to kill says that they know something about his past and will give him more information about his past each person he kills. He's not really having a problem with this and kills these people, which introduces us to our second character, and that is Hyunjin. Hyunjin is the daughter of a rich CEO, but she wanted to be a police officer and detective and made it her dream, and she did it, and she is a detective working on the murder cases that Soo-hyun, he murdered the people and she's trying to solve the case. Soo-hyun has an alias, I would say. He works as a veterinarian. He's living in a house with a teenage girl who owns the whole apartment complex, and she is like your normal spoiled brat, but she isn't really spoiled. Hyunjin, the detective, moves into one of her apartments, and so the two main characters meet without even knowing what the other does. And the whole drama is based on these two characters who try to be friends, but it really doesn't work. They also have, surprise, surprise, a past together, so they are trying to find out about their past, each one, and then they find out that they have a past which is connected, and it all comes down to the final scene and how it ends. I really felt this K-drama had so much potential. Even though it didn't even have a romance storyline, it was really, really great, and I think, let alone the storyline of their past is so heavy, and it's really fucked up that the storyline is so hard to take. Romance wouldn't really fit in. And the next K-drama in the category of crime and mystery, he's psychometric. I don't even know if I'm saying this right, I hope I do. But the K-drama basically has Park Jin-young from GOT7 in its main cast. Jin-young plays a young man. I would say he's pretty immature and doesn't really take things serious. His name is Lian, and then he has a power. If he's touching people, he can see their memories. He meets a girl in school and kind of falls in love, There are some time skips. So basically the girl, Jane, is now a police officer because she wants to fight crimes because of her past. And this past is about a fire in a house complex. And in this fire, Leon's parents died. Leon also wants to be a police officer because of his gift and he thinks he can help solving crime. Leon meets Jane as a police officer and they try and solve crimes, but it gets deeper into their past and solving the case of the fire and what all of this had to do with each individual of them. I'm not gonna say more, but the plot twist of this K-drama is probably one of the biggest plot twists I've ever seen in a K-drama before. On to the last category, and the last category is mystery. The first K-drama in this category is W, Between Two Worlds, and I guess you've probably heard of it because it was really popular and it starred Lee Jung-suk. And a short summary of W would be that there's this woman, a lead female, her name is Yeonju, is a fan of a cartoon, and especially the main character of the cartoon. And the main character of this cartoon is Kang Chul. Kang Chul is also the main lead of the drama. For some reason, I'm not gonna say what reason, Yeonju gets magically into the cartoon, and the story evolves into her switching from her real life to the comic book life, and she's suddenly with Kang Chul, and he wants to know more about her because she's like mysterious and stuff. Coming to the last K-drama, and this K-drama is Memories of the Alhambra, starring the same actor from Crash Landing on You, Hyunbin. And I'm gonna tell you, this man is fucking hot, but it is also starring Park Shin-hye, a really good and well-known Korean actress I really like. So this drama offered me amazing cast. And did I mention that Chanyeol from EXO even played in it? And now to summarize this K-drama a bit, there is this man, Jinwoo, and he is the CEO of an investment company and he's pretty rich. He had some problems with a rival, ex-best friend kind of person. Everyone's gonna say that. And he is on a business trip in Barcelona and gets a call from a guy, and that is Chanyeol. I don't know his name in the drama because I only call him Chanyeol. Like literally, he's Chanyeol for me. But basically, Chanyeol created a game and he wants to maybe sell the game to Jinwoo. Jinwoo wants to meet up with him, but Chanyeol says he can't meet up right now and that he should come to Granada and they should meet up at a hostel. So Jinwoo does this and travels to Granada, and the owner of that hostel is Heeju, Chanyeol's sister. And for some reason, Chanyeol seems to be missing. And Jinwoo has these lenses that's like, it's like VR, but in like contact lenses. This is crazy, and that's actually making the K-drama so great. Chanyeol sent him a version of his game to test. So Jinwoo starts testing the game in Granada. And the great thing about this game is that it is actually like a VR game. They are standing in the middle of a place in Granada, and it looks like he has a sword in his hands and fighting like some enemy. Basically, the story evolves in them trying to find Chanyeol and the rival ex-best friend of Jinwoo appearing and maybe bringing something out of order for Jinwoo. For everybody who likes video games or like fighting and stuff like that, this K-drama was really amazing. The CGI of this drama is so great. Okay, and this finally brings us to the end of this video. I mean, it was probably long enough. I am really happy that you watch it until this point because I really don't expect people to do so. Please tell me if you liked any of these K-dramas, or if you have any K-dramas to recommend. Maybe write it down in the comments. I don't know, it's just the part where you say subscribe, like the video, leave a comment and stuff like that. I don't know how things work. I mean, I said it, so you might as well do it. If you like K-pop and K-dramas and everything kind of surrounding around Korea's culture, or like even C-pop, because I'm a bit into C-pop, a bit. I am making videos about this stuff on my channel, and maybe there are coming more cool videos you may like in the future. I don't know. I want to say bye because this is already way too long for an outro. There are some other videos I have done in the past, and you can subscribe here. I hope it's there because it would be pretty awkward if not. So bye!